بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Now we're moving on to the hazaf of the amil of the hal. Meaning, when we have a hal, it's normally the hal of the fa'il or the maf'ulun bihi. And the amil is normally going to be a fa'il or a shibhul fa'il. However, we're discussing amil ma'nawi, and after amil ma'nawi, we're discussing where the amil is mahdhuf. Like for example, nida, the amil adu is mahdhuf. So we have certain scenarios where the amil of the hal is mahdhuf. You have a hal, but the amil is not the fa'il or the shibhul fa'il. Okay? For example, okay, so ويحذف عامل الحال قياسا وجوبا في أربع مسائل في أربع مواضع. There are four scenarios where it is necessary for the hal to be removed. Where the amil of the hal is removed. Okay? We go through one by one. Number one, we have a scenario, a situation, a structure where the Arabs use, and if you look at it deeply, you will see that the hal is actually taking the place of the khabar. So in Arab it's a hal, but you can see it does the job of the khabar. Let me give you my own example. I'll give you a hadith example later on. So du'a'i rabbi mustayqinan. Okay? I say here, my du'a, so du'a is masdar, ya is the fa'il, rabbi is a maf'ulun bihi, and mustayqinan is what? Is a hal. Okay? Right. So in this situation, we say here that the mustayqinan is what? It's present in the khabar. Because what does it mean? So it means me calling unto my Lord in the act of with certainty. Are you following? Okay? So what we're saying here that this mustayqinan is a hal. His amil is mahdhuf. This is the hal. The amil is mahdhuf. Correct? And aqrabu ma yakun. Here's an example. Aqrabu ma yakunu al-abdu wa huwa sajid. I think my example is incorrect. Because I actually made an easy example, so it's easy for you guys to follow. I don't think it's correct because the problem is we can make mustayqin and the amil is du'a is a masdar, isn't it? Are you following? Because masdar is an amil, so it has a fa'il, a maf'ulun bihi, and that's the hal of the du'a. I don't think it's the example that I made. I try to make an easy example so it's easy to follow, but I think that example I've given is flawed. I'll probably change it in the book when you go ahead and print it. So the example that works is this hadith example. What's the example in the hadith? أقرب ما يكون العبد من ربه. Okay? So أقرب is مضاف and ما يكون العبد من ربه is مضاف إليه. And ما is مصدرية. So, and كون is, so the closest a servant can be from his Lord. The closest a servant can be from his Lord whilst he's prostrating. Are you following? Now, if aqrab is mubtada, where's the khabar? There is no khabar. Wa huwa sajid is the hal, isn't it? But if you look in the meaning, if somebody was like a student that starts translating it here and makes it, no, when students get panicked about making out translations, he would probably make that the khabar. He would probably say that. The closest a person can be to his Lord is when he's prostrating. But really, that's not the khabar. He'll do that translation. That's not actually the translation. You've done that translation because وَهُوَ sajid, this is a hal, right? And then what does it do is يَسُدُّ مَسَدَّ الْخَبَرِ. It is taking the place of the, what is it? It's taking the place of the khabar. So therefore this amil is what? Mahdhuf. What is the amil? Mahdhuf. أي أقرب ما يكون العبد من ربه. So وَهُوَ sajid is the hal, but the hal takes the place of the khabar, therefore this وَهُوَ sajid is the jumla ismiya is a haliyah. Correct? But it has no amil. Because aqrab is not the amil of وَهُوَ sajid. Are you following me? So in this scenario, we'll say that وَهُوَ sajid is the hal. It takes the place of the khabar. Therefore the amil of this hal is mahdhuf. Mubtada. So this is the i'rab. So aqrab is mubtada. Ma is masdariyah. يكون الفعل ناقص عبد زي اسم من ربه فاعل مفعول فيه الأقرب وهو ساجد is حال من العبد. وهو ساجد is what? Is حال من العبد. And it is سعد مسد الخبر. What is it doing? It's taking place of the خبر. أي أقرب حال العبد من ربه حاصل وهو ساجد. Are you following? So we say here that the حاصل. So what we say here. So the yes. So you probably say here حاصل له. And then this وهو ساجد, then probably the حال of the أقرب حال العبد من ربه. Yeah. So again, this is the error I got from somewhere. I'm just thinking. It's possible because a حاصل is what? The خبر محذوف. And وهو ساجد taking the place of the خبر. Are you following? And then in this scenario, ساجد is not the حال of this من ربه, but rather the له here حاصل له. Are you following me? So the حاصل له وهو ساجد. And the وهو ساجد is the حال of the له. Are you following me? Does that make sense? Not completely, okay. So now we know وهو ساجد is a حال, isn't it? What's it the حال of? So where I copied it from, I don't know where I copied it from. I didn't put the references because it got so many references and full of references in the book. But the place where I got it from, it says here, this is the حال of, أقرب is حال, أي أقرب حال, yeah. No. So in here it says, it's حال من العبد. Now is it حال from the word عبد? Or is it حال from the ضمير of the عبد? What it seems like to me is this is أقرب ما يكون العبد من ربه وهو ساجد. This is the حال of the محذوف حاصل له. You following? أقرب أي أقرب حال. So the closest state of the servant to his Lord is acquired while he is prostrating. And حاصل له, the who is the حال, وهو ساجد is the حال of that له, referring to the abd. And the وهو ساجد is an حال. The عامل is محذوف because why? The وهو ساجد is actually doing the job of the خبر. Does that make sense? The next place where the we have the حال محذوف is if أن تكون دالة بلفظها على زيادة أو نقص بتدريج. If the حال shows, the word itself shows increase or decrease gradually, then the عامل is normally محذوف. For example, you have تصدق. تصدق. What تصدق mean?
To be truthful.
No, that's صدق يصدق.
To affirm.
That's تصديق. صدق يصدق. So صدق يصدق باب مفاعلة صادقة. Then what bab we have left? تفاعل. What تفاعل mean? That's to give charity. تصدق, to give charity. بدرهم. Speak the truth in exchange for money. You like these robbing people, don't you? You take money to speak the truth. That should be intrinsic quality of you to speak the truth. تصدق بدرهم. تصدق, but they're right, but they're different babs. So تصدق bab تفاعل. Bab تفاعل means what? Give charity. To تصدق بدرهم. تصدق بدرهم. Give what? Give 1 dirham in charity. فصاعدا or more. So now صاعدا is a حال. Its عامل is محذوف. Why is it عامل محذوف? Because the عامل is دالة بلفظها. That word, that حال, it shows زيادة, more or more. So give a charity, 1 dirham in charity or more. Are you following? So العامل المحذوف هو يزيد أو نحوه. You will say تصدق بدرهم فزد صاعدا أو زد صاعدا. Yes? أي تصدق بدرهم فزد صاعدا. Give 1 dirham in charity or give more. So فزد صاعدا. Or increase. So zid, increase. صاعدا, climbing up the ladder of increasing. صاعدا means to climb. Yes, صاعدا. إليه يسأل كلمة طيب. Yes? To climb up, to rise up. So to give charity or raise up a little bit. Or more. We say or more in our language. Yes? And this hard, it has to come with fa or thumma. But fa is more common. تصدق بدرهم ثم صاعدا. That's not going to use, but in theory you could have that. Yes? So you can either have fa or thumma. Yes? So whenever you have this increase, a bit more, less. So that kind of word, then that side then comes the hal, and the dhul hal is what? Mahdoof. You following? The dhul hal becomes mahdoof. That's right. The dhul hal is mahdoof and also the amil is mahdoof. Acha. Next one is if the hal is preceded by istifham and it's for what? Tawbih, telling off or scolding somebody. For example, aqa'idan وقد أقيمت الصلاة. Salah, iqamah has been given, salah has started. Qa'idan, you still sitting? So what's the amil here? The amil is going to be what? أي بقيت لبثت لم تزل أي لم تزل قائدا وقد أقيمت الصلاة. Are you still sitting now while salah has started? So the amil mahdoof is like بقيت لبثت, something like that. So if you have an istifham followed by a hal for tawbih, then the amil is mahdoof wujuban. Yes? Yes? You say أقائدا وأمك قائدا وأمك قائمة. You're sitting here, mom standing, give her the space to sit. Why are you sitting now when she's standing up? There's only one seat, she should be sitting. Fahim? So they said, you got scared, look a bit scared. It's Tawbih an example, I'm not telling you off. I'm acting out too much. Yeah? Ji. أي لم تزل قائدا وقد أقيمت الصلاة. أجل. The last scenario is when the hal is of a jumla ismiya and is doing ta'keed of the madhmoon al-jumla. So the jumla has a meaning inside of it and you're trying to emphasize that meaning. Then you can have a hal. For example, وَهُوَ الْحَقُّ. Now haqq has different meanings. One meaning of haqq is sadiq. وَهُوَ الصَّادِق. Yes? Now when you say haqq, what does haqq mean? To be truthful. Musaddiqan is what? A hal. But what's a hal doing? What's the madhmoon of the jumla? What the first jumla, huwa al-haq, is saying that it's truthful. The topic of the first jumla is to say truthfulness. Are you following? So huwa al-haq. What does the hal do? It reaffirms the topic of the first sentence. Are you following? So it's a hal mu'akkida. It's emphasizing, but it has the same topic as the first jumla. Are you following? وَهُوَ الْحَقُّ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ. Do you understand? Acha. In here, what's the shart? What's the condition? The ma'na al-hal and the ma'na al-jumla qablahu. Same meaning. Sidq. Because haqq means truthfulness, isn't it? So the Quran is the truth. Truthful in the state of it being truthful. If you translate it, doesn't make sense. You have to understand the usloob of the Arabs. You say this is the total truth. Or this is the truth which reaffirms what is with them. Shart number one. So the ma'na of the hal and ma'na of the jumla must be what? The same. And number two, the mubtada and the khabar must both be ma'rifah and jamid. So, ismiya, ma'rifah, jamid, not mushtaq. There's a Quranic example, but it's good to know the Nahw example that people use often. So when you see this example, you know this. You following? You must say, oh, huwa mithlu, huwa al-haq musaddiqan. You say, هذا من باب خالد أبوك عطوفا. This is the example you find in Nahw books. What's this example? خالد أبوك عطوفا. So you say Khalid is your father, Atufan is hal. Atf meaning, Ataf is to bend over somebody, to kind, sharing, loving. Yes? So now Khalid Abuka, when Khalid is your father, what is your father? When he says he's your father, what does that imply? What's the ma'na? It's not clear, but what's understood from this? Care, love. Parents have love and care for the children. So you have here Khalid and Abuk. So the meaning of that is what? Atuf. So the meaning of Khalid is your father, that implies and what? What is that doing? Khalid Abuka Atufan so the Atufan is a hal and has the same meaning which is understood from the first sentence. So basically this sentence is used in the Arabic language and it's how to do ta'wil of it and try to explain it. So in these four scenarios, you can have the hal, you can have a hal without the amil being mentioned and there's wajib to remove it. And then you have a few sama'i places where the hal is mentioned. Hani al-lak. So hani al-lak is a hal. Salim and ghaniman ay, they've returned with peace and they've returned successfully. So saliman, ghaniman, all of these things mentioned. Understood? That's the end of the discussion where we have the hal as a jumlatun, hal where the amil is mahdhuf.